Hey YouTube, how you doing? Today is the 10th anniversary of September 11th. I've decided to go ahead and make my Where Was I During September 11th video because it was actually kind of an interesting experience. What happened to me is my friends and I had just finished doing the AIDS vaccine ride from Montreal, Canada to Portland, Maine, which is a 500-esque mile bike ride from Canada to the United States to Maine. And if anyone has ever done an AIDS ride, or one of the AIDS vaccine rides back in the day, or one of the AIDS rides like the California AIDS ride, it's really hard to describe the event to someone who's never done it because it's just amazing. Like, the feeling that you get when you're there is just indescribable. Like, you are literally living like in a utopian society for the X amount of days that the ride is happening, and it's just amazing. And I would recommend to anyone who's never done it to try it at least once in your life. Like, even if you're just volunteering, but I would recommend trying to ride because it's just amazing. Like, undescribable. I can't describe it. You have to experience. Anyway, so my friends and I had just finished this amazing event where everything is all love and happiness and everyone loves each other and everyone's just feeling amazing. And my buddy and I, there were 4 of us that went. Me and my friend Adam flew home at nighttime on September 10th. So I got home, well, we both got home. I mean, obviously we're on the same flight. We live both in the Bay Area, in California. And we both got home. Our flight arrived, I don't know when it arrived, but it was sometime late at night, September 10th. And our buddies, they ended up staying because they wanted to stay an extra day at a bed and breakfast in Maine, you know, and have like a little together time and whatever. So we arrived, luckily, on, you know, September 10th. We didn't fly on September 11th. Thank God. And not that we wouldn't have been on any, not even the airlines that were targeted, but still, I mean, we flew, you know, very, very close to it. And so I was already feeling a bit depressed from having the ride be over. Because it happens, because you're just like on such a high in the ride, and when it's over, you're just kind of like, you're just kind of sad, like you feel like you're missing something. So I was already feeling that feeling of missing something, and I woke up, and I turned on the TV to see what was happening. I was at my parents' house because I got home really late and I didn't feel like driving all the way back to my house, so I just drove to my parents' house, which is a lot closer. Woke up, turned on the TV, and of course it's on every single channel. So it's the first thing that I saw was one of the towers burning. And so I got up, my parents were awake, and you know, obviously the news was in the living room, and we were all just kind of watching it together, but it was crazy. I mean, it was kind of a surreal experience, because literally I went from one extreme to the other. I went from like this super awesome happy place of like bliss and utopianness to this like, oh my God, how could anyone do something so horrifically tragic? And it was just crazy. I mean, the whole day, it was just immensely sad, you know, just watching the whole thing happen and watching the towers fall, really sad. So yeah, I will remember that pretty much forever, because yeah, I mean, it's a profound experience. Like, that is like the big event that happened, you know, in our lifetime. You know, the generation before us, you know, they probably remember Pearl Harbor, and that is the, you know, the event for them, and this is the event for us. We're like, wow, how could anyone do that within our borders? Is just unfathomable. And my friends who ended up staying an extra day because they wanted to go to the bed and breakfast, oh, I do not envy them, because as you all know, flights are grounded for a long time after September 11th, and they ended up having to rent a car and drive all the way from Maine all the way back to Southern California, which is where they lived, which really is like the 2 farthest points of the United States, the continental United States. You know, from one point to one point, they had to drive back. And if you've ever done one of these rides, you don't carry any clothes with you. I mean, you literally carry your cycling clothes with you, and then you carry maybe 1 or 2 pairs of clothes that you just recycle at the end of the day that you wear while you're in camp. But mainly you're in your cycling gear, so all you have is cycling gear. So all they have is nasty used cycling gear and like 1 pair of dirty clothes that has been worn all week long, you know, at the end of each day of the ride. So they had to rent a car, they had to buy some clothes, they had to drive all the way across the country. One of my friends, Tina, she was one of the ones that was stuck in Maine. Her mom was flying that day, and I guess she ended up getting grounded in Texas because they brought down the flight, because obviously, you know, they just made every flight land. So her mom ended up getting stuck in Texas, and she had to drive back to California. But yeah, crazy day. So that is my September 11th story. You know, this is a day to really remember. You know, it was a tragedy, and sure, everyone was pretty angry when it happened, but I think what we really need to focus on is the good that happened that day. You know, I mean, one, it's a miracle that the trade towers weren't full of people. You know, it was actually a very oddity that there were so few people in the towers at that time. And then all the heroes that emerged to help, you know, when everything bad happened. You know, that's the kind of stuff that we have to focus on, you know, people coming together, you know, people doing whatever they can for someone else. That is what America's about. That is what we're about. And, you know, it's not right to focus on the anger and the hate of the situation. What we really need to focus on is just coming together. Okay, YouTube, that is my 9/11 message and story. Until next time, love and bubbles.